My Honda NC750X is now 7 years old, and on this ride it's about to turn over 100,000 kilometres. Of the 35 bikes or so that I've owned over the years, the NC is certainly not the fastest, the most comfortable, or even the best looking bike that I've owned. But there's some intangible thing about it that leaves me with a smile on my face every time I go for a ride on this bike. This bike has proven to be ultra reliable, cheap to run, and very cheap to maintain. On this 6-day trip we did nearly 2,200 kilometres and, as you can see, averaged only 3.2 kilometres per litre. It's now done 100,500 or so. I've done all the maintenance on this bike since it was brand new and have had absolutely zero problems with it. Oh, by the way, it is the manual version. I can understand the attraction of the DC2, but it's really not for me. Anyway, what's coming up is my daily vlog that was sent back to the family each day. If you want to watch it, fine. If not, I understand. Day one of our 6-day adventure, and we headed down via Wiseman's Ferry. Today was forecast to be pretty warm, but so far so good. There's been cloud cover and it hasn't been too bad at all. And of course we're here with our normal riding buddies, James and Adrian. And of course a motorcycle adventure would not be complete without some river crossings. Fortunately, we took the ferry. And you can not only feel the serenity, you can see it as well. It's a lovely calm day. After morning tea at Wiseman's, we headed up the hill and across to yet another ferry at Sackville. We travelled the trafficked Bells line of road and finally got off that and into some more open country. No traffic, small road, perfect. Lunch was at Oberon. We chose this cafe because it was nice and cool inside. The food was okay, but we refrained from buying vanilla slices. Oberon sits at about 1,100 metres, and we travel for quite a long time at about that level and then finally start heading down the mountain towards Goulburn. As the elevation drops, the temperature increases. And of course, it's always the last few kilometres of the journey that are the most uncomfortable. Fortunately, there were a few twisty roads to keep our interest up. We all could have done without the last few kilometres, but now we're relaxing in a nice, cool motel room. See you tomorrow. Day 2 of our ride, and it's a cool, overcast morning. So how are things this morning, boys?
Excellent, mate. Excellent.
No snoring?
No.
120.
Very good. We're heading for Corryong today, but we're going via Wee Jasper, which will require a reasonable amount of gravel road. What an adventure. Unfortunately, there's about 80k of freeway before we get onto the nice country roads. We're going to have a bit of a stretch here and of course park right on the bridge. Burrinjuck Dam is very pretty in the morning, but it looks like the water level's down a bit. Well, it's a lovely morning. It's still fairly cool. It's 26 on the gauge, but it doesn't feel that warm yet.
We're having a great time.
Body holding up?
Yes. Nice temperature.
There are some lovely twisty roads going down into Wee Jasper. Let's introduce the group. This is Wendy on a Honda CB500X, Adrian on his BMW 1200 GS, James on his Ducati Multistrada 1200, and I'm Adrian as well, and I'm riding a Honda NC750X. We're coming into Wee Jasper now, and after Wee Jasper, the gravel road starts, and there's about 40 kilometres of gravel. Come to a river crossing and the ferry is out of service, so we'll just have to ford it. After the gravel, there's lovely tight twisty road and then beautiful open sweeping road through pine forests, and you can smell the pine in the air. And then we arrive at Tumut. It's getting warm and it's time for a break. Lunchtime at Tumbarumba, and most people are having something healthy. Been riding at an altitude of about 900 metres, but now we're coming down further and further, and as we come down it gets hotter and hotter. There's the odd view here and there, but because of the heat it's quite hazy, not clear and crisp. Corryong at last, and we ride into town to find our motel. Heading to Bright tomorrow via Omeo and Hotham. That should be a fun ride. So see you tomorrow for the next episode. Day 3, and we're heading for Bright. Last night saw us eating at the pub, and we had some nice healthy vegetarian chips and then some schnitzels. The first part of the ride to Tallangatta was pleasant but ordinary. Okay, these boys ate their breakfast last night. We're at Tallangatta, and so now they have to have breakfast again. But it's a lovely cool day and we're happy little Vegemites. We're taking the long way around to Bright. We're going down to Omeo and then back up to Hotham and then back down to Bright again. It should be a fantastic ride. Mitta is where the road really starts to get interesting, because from here down to Omeo there's 100 kilometres of almost non-stop corners. Perfect for motorcycle riding. Halfway down we had to stop so that James could shake hands with the unemployed. So, Wendy kept her distance. It's conveniently lunchtime at Omeo, but because the boys had second breakfast, they abstained from having lunch. Silly them. Because the pepper pie and the apple turnover were sensational. It's been reasonably cool all day, but up here on the top of Hotham, it's just that little bit cooler. Very nice. It seems that every afternoon we drop down to a low altitude, and this is no exception when we come into Bright. It was fairly warm down here, but the Thai food was excellent and very healthy looking too. Tomorrow we're heading back over the snowy mountains to Cooma, so catch you tomorrow. It's day 4 of our adventure. It's another perfect sunny day, nice and cool, and we're heading to Cooma today. But first, we're stopping at Tallangatta for breakfast. So we happy little Vegemites again this morning. We're back at Tallangatta Bakery for breakfast, and we've ridden about 100 kilometres before breakfast. So we're off on more twisty roads and up into the snowy mountains. This is Lake Hume and it's very full. These cows think they own the road, and probably do, so we have to give way to them.
Mucking up.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. But he did take pictures of cows.
We rode through small, picturesque country towns. Some of them we weren't supposed to ride through, but never mind, we turned around and went back. It was all very pleasant. And again, as I said, the temperature was perfect and the road conditions also, and no traffic. Up into the snowy mountains proper now, and past hydroelectric schemes, and again, more twisty roads. Bugs on the camera are getting bad and we're just about to Kuma. So this is the end of the video for today. Tomorrow we head for Nowra, but we're going via some back roads, so that should be an adventure as well. And also, the biggest adventure for tomorrow is that my motorcycle will turn over 100,000 kilometres. So we'll catch you tomorrow. We're heading for Nowra today, and it's not only our penultimate day, but our second last one as well. They started out cool but sunny and bright. Just perfect, and it stayed cool all day. And a major milestone for me occurred just down the road. My bike has now turned over 100,000 kilometres. Adrian has done an excellent job yet again for planning the route. The road we take all the way to Nowra is on a back country road, starting out as bitumen and then moving to very smooth and beautiful gravel road. It just feels like more of an adventure when you're on a gravel road. You could be anywhere in Australia. It's only about 40 kilometres of gravel road, but if you avoid this, you avoid all the rest of the Butte Road as well. This gravel is what I would term 100 kilometres an hour gravel. It's not all fast straight road. There was a few twisty patches too, which was quite slippery on the corners. There's that loose gravel on the hard base, so you have to be careful. It's very pretty through here. You wouldn't be dead for $2, or maybe a quid. It's Braidwood for morning tea. Sprung, boys. Back on the road again, and the road from Braidwood to Nowra is mostly reasonably open and smooth bitumen, but unexpectedly there's this patch of rough gravel of a few kilometres in between. ridden a lot of corners this trip, and we've certainly used up quite a bit of the sides of the tyres. The sides are now scalloped and roughed up nicely. This is our motel for the night. We're home tomorrow via mostly boring highway, so there'll be no video tomorrow. Thanks for coming along on the ride with us.